Good morning, dear students. I, Professor Basavaraj Koduche, welcome you all for today's lecture of Elements of Cost and Market Analysis, Module number 2, Video number 2. Here, in previous class, we have seen the various aspects of cost, that is, meaning of cost analysis, then the classification of costs based on analytical way and accounting purpose way, and in those costs we have classified and we have seen the sub points. Today we are supposed to see the types of types of costs which are there for your syllabus. In those things, the first thing is the fixed cost. The name itself tells us that fixed cost means the cost which is fixed, which remains unchanged, irrespective of the number of outputs or irrespective of the production. Here, the fixed cost has been defined by various authors in their own ways. Let us see some of the things or aspects of fixed cost which are very much essential. That is, fixed cost is the cost that remains fixed for a certain volume of output. In other words, the cost that does not change with the change in the output or sales revenue. Here, the cost which does not change with the number of outputs is known as fixed cost. Because the cost which is involved in production of 5 units or 5,000 units, which will be same, that cost is known as fixed cost. Here, the fixed cost is the cost that remains fixed for a certain volume of output. In other words, the cost that does not change with the change in the output or sales revenue. That is, it remains fixed irrespective of the volume of output is called the fixed cost. Let us see the example. The cost of machinery is fixed whether you produce 5 units or 5,000 units on that machine, but the cost will be fixed. So here, these kind of costs which are fixed, which may not change or which may not vary with the changing output, these type of costs are known as fixed cost. So in examination, a 2 marks question may come saying what do you mean by fixed cost. At that point of time you can write that the fixed cost is the cost that remains fixed for a certain volume of output. The concept of fixed cost is associated with the short run since all the costs vary over time. Here, in practical, if you see, all the costs change over a long period. So therefore, the concept of fixed cost is associated with only the short run period. Therefore, any cost it may be, it varies with the changing time. So here the concept of fixed cost is associated with the short run since all the costs vary over period or vary over time, and no cost remains purely fixed for a long period. In long period, every type of cost is changing. Therefore, it mainly includes the cost of administrative or managerial staff, depreciation of land, building, machinery and other fixed assets, and maintenance of these fixed assets, etc. are involved in fixed cost. Because these staff, that is administrative staff or managerial staff, are fixed irrespective of the output. The depreciation of land and building will not change. The machinery and other fixed assets cost, maintenance cost will not change even though the number of outputs are increasing or decreasing. They are fixed for short period. But the same thing in long run it may change. Therefore, this concept is associated with short run. Short run means for a short period of time. Long run means above 5 years or long period of time. So, the firm has to pay these costs irrespective of its level of production. Whether it is small scale production or large scale production, irrespective of the output, these costs are to be paid or these costs are to be given. So, therefore, here these costs are fixed irrespective of the output. For example, the fixed cost would be the company's rent of the machinery. The rent will not change if we are taking the machinery on rent, whether I am producing 5 units or 5000 units on that machine, the rent will be same. Suppose a firm uses a certain machine on rent, then it is required to pay rent every month, even if the machine which left idle at any point of time. Means, even if the machine is left ideal without any work, if the machine is only kept, even then the rent is to be paid. Even if the machine was left ideal at any point of time, thus the amount of rent paid every month is fixed, that a firm has to incur irrespective of the usage of the machine. Or, say, if we are taking the building on rent and the rent of that building is fixed, even if we are producing or if we are not producing, the rent will be same or it will be unchanged, and therefore these costs are fixed. Now, how to find out this fixed cost? There will be problems for finding out every type of cost for 10 marks. At that point of time, if we want to find out fixed cost, then we require total cost and variable cost. If the total cost and variable cost are there, then we can find out fixed cost. That is, FC is equal to, FC means fixed cost is equal to TC minus VC. TC means total cost minus VC means variable cost. So, fixed cost is equal to total cost minus variable cost. If we minus variable cost from total cost, we will get fixed cost. So, this is the formula for calculation of fixed cost. In this class, we have seen the fixed cost concept and formula. We shall stop here. The other costs we shall see in tomorrow's class. Thank you. Good day.